it live.
All right. Good morning, everybody. We are live with Think Like an Executive and Meraki Fitness. We'll give this a few minutes here. If you are on YouTube, morning. Let's mute that. If you are on chat for YouTube, or if you're on chat for Facebook, feel free to comment in the section down below. I will see it right here, and we will talk to Anna here in just a few minutes. Let's do a little test here, Anna. All right, we've got Sync Brokerage, and we know that there's a couple people watching over there, so that's great. Please comment. We'll get this going here in just 1 minute. I'm always very punctual, and you seem to be as well. So yes. I think it's a lost art form.
Yes, in LA.
Specifically, yeah, specifically.
Yeah, it differentiates us. Hola, Anna. Who is ER74R?
Eric Rojas, managing partner over at Sync Woodland Hills.
Oh, nice.
All right, we got Anna here. All right, everybody's filling in. I love it. I love it. Give us 1 second. We'll do the intro, guys, and good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in and being pretty close to on time. That's awesome of you. Thank you so much. Today, Think Like an Executive is brought to you by Restream.io. You know it's my favorite platform. That's what's given me the ability to be broadcasted out to multiple different channels at the same time. So go check out Restream.io. And thank you to Meraki Fitness and Anna Stavardis. How was that?
Good, perfect.
Okay, thanks. So Anna's the CEO, the owner of Meraki Fitness, and she's going to talk to us today all about health, wellness, deskercise, right?
Yeah.
Everything. And Anna, one of the things I loved about your profile is you work with, and I'm just I jump back and forth, just so you know. So I get real pumped up and I get really excited about these things, and I kind of forget where I'm at, but the one thing I want to lead into real quick here is you work with a lot of different, not only just local, but national brands. So Beverly Hills Chamber, obviously being one of the closest ones to us. You work with a lot of realtors and stuff. Why have all these people sought you out? And first, I guess, just give us your intro. Tell us about yourself.
Sure. Thank you so much. And thanks for having me. What a joy. It's great to connect with a great coach such as yourself. I do believe that every coach needs a coach. So we always need to set the bar higher. It's kind of like you always want to play tennis with somebody better than you, right?
Oh my God. Have you been watching my videos?
No, not that one. I say that, but
No. So I used to teach professional tennis in Las Vegas, and I grew up playing tennis, and I've traveled around the world to play tennis. And that was one of kind of my analogies, is that when you play at somebody that's less than your ability, you play down to their ability. So you always want to surround yourself with better people. And so when I went to Nick Bollettieri tennis camp in Florida, I mean, that's where I trained. So, I mean, I got trained by the best coach in the industry. Andre Agassi was on court 1. I was on court 8 and 9, varied between those two, because it was kind of who you beat the week before pushed you up or down in the courts. Well, I wanted to play with Agassi. I never hit balls with Agassi or Michael Chang because we're all the same era. But you play with somebody at your level, you might win half the time, you might lose half the time. But if you play with somebody that is better than you, which I try to always do, you run faster, you hit the ball harder. The best day of tennis I ever had was when I hit with Nick Bollettieri and my parents came to Florida to see me. I smashed that ball at 10, 11 years old. Never hit it harder. I don't think I've hit it harder since. So I love that analogy. That is awesome.
Yeah, I think, always allowing yourself to be around people who want you to shine, right? Stripping away that negative energy and always surrounding yourself with people who want to bring you up. And those that can see in you what you might not even see in yourself, right? I have many friends that are / mentor in my life, and I have identified many different things in me that I wouldn't have necessarily seen otherwise. So wonderful to be on the show. Thank you so much.
Of course. So tell me about Meraki Fitness and how you got started. Where did this brand come from? Where did you come from? What did you do before that? Have you always been into health?
Well, I've always worked out all my life since I was, preteen. I was working out and always very into sports as a kid. So always had that momentum and appreciation for the dedication that sports can bring. I have a prior career in wealth management where I was overseeing multiple offices and personnel, financial advisors, and that sort of thing. And in that, I studied very hard and worked to get where I wanted to be, where I thought I wanted to be, and then realized that wasn't necessarily the case. And didn't really get the fulfillment that I was looking for, and felt that there was more to life than just that for me. So I parted ways with that and discovered through working with some of my friends who identified in me that I should probably do fitness as a profession. And then I researched for accredited type of training, because if you're going to do something, you might as well do it well. You're already there.
Right.
So finding credible fitness certifications such as the ACE personal training and group fitness instructor, along with nutrition certification. I went ahead and became WBENC certified, which is through the small business.
Women's business, right? Women's business entrepreneurship, I think.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
So for those that don't know what that is, basically Fortune 500 companies need to use diversity vendors in their annual type of curriculums or purchasing. And so we fulfill that criteria. I'm able to go into their portals and become their wellness provider. One of
the things that you mentioned that I thought was interesting is that if you're going to do something, do it well. Mm-hmm. Now, this channel, Think Like an Executive, really speaks to it's coaching for real estate agents. Did you hear that? If you're going to take the time to take your test, spend all this money, do it well. That's it.
Nail that. Well. Come back and do it again and waste your time. Just nail it.
Yeah, absolutely. Put everything into it. Yeah. That's why you work so hard to get this license or be in business or start your own business. Do it well.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's so much mediocrity throughout every industry that, to me, just to rise to the top takes just that little much more effort to follow up and follow through and be better. And this whole channel is really dedicated to mindset. I love talking about mindset. And I know that, like, if you go to a Tony Robbins event, or if you go to, heck, if you hear me speak or you speak, I'm sure you're pounding on your chest. And I watch Tony Robbins and I've seen him live, and that dude pounds on his chest. He starts turning red and everything. And then you walk out of there and you start pounding on your chest.
Yeah.
But then you wake up the next day and you kind of make a little love tap on your chest. And then by the third day, you're like, I don't want to get out of bed. So it's mindset for me is really all about this channel. And that's really why I wanted to have you on today, because I think that health, fitness, mental health, everything that encompasses that, working out is mindset. Just being physically active is a mindset, and you have to make a commitment.
Yeah. Oh, the commitment is clear. And, I even go so far as to, have an ultimate respect for the large bodybuilders, male or female, that, put that dedication into their craft, into their profession. I personally don't want to have that look as a physique, but I have an ultimate respect for it in that dedication, perseverance, and the every single day, every choice that they make in order to create and sustain that look is there's sacrifices, and it's a massive mindset. Boxers have a huge mindset. I mean, that's
Sure.
that's a extremely compound type of exercise every day. That the physique of a boxer is distinct, right? So that's a whole, you have to have a coach for that, right? We just had McGregor that just fought with UFC over the past weekend, right? In Toronto, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So where there's a will, there's a way. They were in Dubai on our time.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. Everyone needs a coach. And sometimes, and a lot of times, coaches need coaches. You got to have a mentor. You got to have somebody you look up to, you turn to, your rock, if you will. And, McGregor, I think the ultimate thing about that fight that I took away with it, and forget winning or losing, there's a lot of hype that goes up to it. But at the very end, as he's walking out on crutches, he basically says to the other guy, hey, you really kicked my butt today.
Yeah.
And the ultimate sportsmanship, respect. And I absolutely love that. And that kind of ties into, especially the real estate industry. I don't think there's enough camaraderie and respect between each other because we're all fighting for the same thing.
Right.
Called a championship, called a listing, whatever it is. But I think we could all use a little more respect in our industry. All right, guys, be nice to each other.
Be nice to each other, and there's plenty to go around. I think doing good deeds, it ends up paying off in the long run. Do
Sure.
business, have your ethical business, and have integrity in what it is that you do, and that will differentiate you in a pool of others. Your reputation sticks with you, and that's really all that you have. And at the end of the day, when it's between you and another person who someone wants to do business with, the reputation will win.
Sure. Yeah. The red sterling's kind of got, and I'll paraphrase, but it's basically who you hang out with. So who you hang out with is kind of who you're going to be as a person. So just like back the tennis analogy, play tennis with better people.
And I've heard another analogy of that you take from, the five closest people, five people that are closest to you, something, and that helps to create who you are. So look around you and see who you're surrounding yourself with. And do you want to be like those people as well?
Absolutely. Yeah. So give us, because I'm going to plug my social media real quick. So if you're on YouTube right now and you're at the Team Galardi company YouTube page, make sure you hit that subscribe button for me. Let's get the count up there. Where can we find you? Let's get that.
Sure. Well, I'm on YouTube also, Meraki Fitness. Be sure to like and subscribe. We have a whole series actually from GLAR Wellness Week, Greater Los Angeles Realtors Association, on our YouTube channel. So you can see that series in the thumbnails if you click into my playlist under Wellness Weeks or Speaking. Additionally, Instagram, Meraki Fitness by Anna, Facebook, and LinkedIn.
Yeah, it's great. I've been on your website, and I love your website. I think it's very detailed, a lot of information there. And I actually like the recipes. I like the rest of the little recipes, how to eat healthy and stuff. I'm not taking advantage of it, and I'm not doing it, but I like it. I like looking at the pictures of the food. ER wants to know, what city are you located in, Anna?
I'm in Beverly Hills.
Oh, look at you, rubbing it in.
Thanks.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, ER, for that. But Anna teaches everywhere, and she's taught big brands. Merrill Lynch, was that one of them? Is that right?
Yes, and I was actually with them for 12 years.
Wow.
Manager as well. So
why are big brands, big companies investing in Eric's on his way? He said he's coming to Beverly Hills. Eric, I'm coming with you, Eric. Let's carpool. Let's get on this together, man. You and me, we're going to lose at least one of our body masses, all right, together collectively.
I'll do 20 burpees right off the bat.
Like you go to those motivational things. All right, everybody stand up and scream. You're going to make us do burpees. That's great.
Yeah.
No, not going to happen. So why are companies investing in mental health, mental wellness for their employees? And I will tell you that when I managed a very large luxury real estate firm in Beverly Hills back in the day, for New Year's Eve day, the owner actually said, we're not going to do a New Year's Eve party this year. We're going to do yoga in the park New Year's Day. And it's going to be at 7 a.m. And first of all, everybody moaned and groaned and hated it. Like, no, we want to party, man. Like, we're gonna go out and get crazy and do all this. And he says, no, we're gonna do yoga in the park, 7 a.m. Invite your clients. 1,000 people showed up in New York because there are multiple offices all around the place. About 50 people showed up in LA. But gosh, it was it's kind of interesting that companies are reinvesting in your health, your wellness. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I think that, we've kind of rounded the corner with that. It was in some industries, tech industry, and some others, it was prevalent. There were, with the millennials, especially in the tech industry, they embraced this mothership type of environment, Google-esque, and would give so much more of their day, their life, but needed a little bit more in return. And I think that a lot of companies, through different coaching, leadership and executive coaching, have really started to see through COVID, especially, that they need to have something in place for their employees to be able to give that balance.
Sure.
You get what you give. You're going to have more productive employees, more loyal employees, less attrition, less chronic illness. That goes down to the bottom line with CFO, where we don't have to manage additional healthcare costs or unexcused absences, that sort of thing. So bottom line, it behooves a company to have a wellness plan to hedge that type of cost.
Do you think people are healthier now or pre-COVID? Are people more aware of their life?
I think it depends. I had this conversation with my client. He's lost 5 pounds in 2 weeks, and he gained over 20 through COVID. And so we've just been working together the past 2 weeks, lost 5 pounds. We just had this conversation yesterday. We either see those that have increased their health significantly with, a newfound time and love of fitness, or those that immediately got the COVID 30 in 2 to 3 months back at the beginning of.
I thought it was called the COVID 15. Now we're up to 30. What the hell?
I have a few that are COVID 30, and to me, when I look at somebody like that, past the aesthetics and everything like that, the issue that I see is your heart, especially with the waist to hip ratio. That immediately, especially for men. And women with an apple shape versus a pear, it immediately puts additional stress on your heart. So going forward, companies that don't have some type of a wellness solution or resource for employees will see more heart disease, diabetes, and then also higher fat deposits on organs, which will reduce the functionability of those organs and have larger issues later on. So I'm seeing both. To answer your question, I'm seeing both, that there are some that are having a really hard time, both physically and mentally, and that there are some that have really done very well with the time that's been on their hands. I think that mental health has come into play a lot more, and we've unveiled that mystique, and that is it appropriate to talk about outside of the home? I think it's much more transparent now, and we include that mindset, lifestyle, behavioral change type of discussion in all of our programs.
Yeah, I've spoken about this before last year, and I think that we're all going to look back at this COVID time and say, damn it, I should have done that. You could have started working out. You could have been healthier. You could have started an art class online, a cooking class, whatever. Right. And the days seem like they're going faster. I mean, we're at the end of January already. I don't know what it is about working from home right now, but the time is flying by. It's wild to me. So start exercising. Start doing something today. I mean, don't put it on, for February 1. Start today. You got nothing but time right now.
Yeah.
So let's talk about something that I am not great at. I don't understand. I think there's a massive amount of benefit, and anytime that I hear a celebrity or somebody that's wildly successful, and I think the first person that comes to mind would be like Howard Stern, but meditation.
Yeah,
I can't. And I'm not one of those people who go, oh, I have ADHD, whatever. I'm not self-diagnosing that I have ADHD. Mm-hmm. I'm hyper. I have a lot of energy. I can wake up early in the morning. I can go to bed late at night. I can play video games. I can do this. I can do a ton of different things all the time. but I can't sit down for 5 minutes. Oh, Russell Simmons. That's who the other person I was thinking of. How do we meditate? What are the benefits of meditation? I know it's great. I want to do it. Help me.
So, this is a really, especially in the realtor landscape, the investments, like this A-type personality where you're balancing everything. And I think realtors are always looking for ways to be in multiple places at once. They're people pleasers. They want all their clients to be happy, their family to be happy, their friends to be happy, and everybody to be comfortable. And they take that, as at a cost to themselves. So with our programs, we focus on self-care first and kind of translating that into self-care is not selfish, right? It's basically just putting your own oxygen mask on first so that you're able to help other people better. And so in that, it's scheduling yourself first with that self-care. And in meditation, there's a lot of different ways that you can do meditation. It doesn't have to be where you're in this, very eclectic type of room with tapestries and everything, and you're sitting there with a yogi or whoever it is that you're with, and you're dedicated to 30 minutes. You can simply close your eyes and do some breathing exercises for 30 seconds. You can literally just breathe in and out and say, I'm going to take a few moments, close my eyes, and reduce that outside environmental influence and focus for 10 breaths. And if you can't do 10 breaths, then try 5. So if you want, we can try that right now. We can close our eyes and try 1 breath.
Actually, I'm going to do that. Let's do it.
Okay.
All right. What am I doing? Closing my eyes?
Closing your eyes and just breathing in through your nose, deeply through your nose, and out through your mouth. And we're still here. So you can do what's called guided meditation, which I find very helpful. In COVID, I've done a lot more meditation, and with all of my private sessions, and especially our group sessions online, we end with meditation. And it's just simply taking a few breaths in. You can have guided meditation where the person that's helping you with the meditation speaks to you and helps give you an influence as to visualizing the breath coming in through your nose, down your throat, into your lungs, coming back out through your mouth. Or you can hear it where it can sound like an ocean wave coming over your head and then washing you back. So it's kind of like any type of communication. You're communicating with your own body. I can tell somebody something 7 times, 3 different ways, and they still haven't heard me. So it's communicating and finding that groove for yourself. But by no means you have to do all of it all at once. There's I say 50 shades of gray. We can meditate many different ways, right? Sure. So it doesn't have to be an extreme onto one. It can just be that first step and trying it one time.
So Calm is a great app, and I'm sure there's 1,000 other apps like that, but and just I'll say a friend told me, but if you have the American Express Platinum card, you actually get Calm, I believe, for a year for free, maybe 6 months, something like that. And I have used the app on my computer, and I've now forgotten about it because I get so distracted with everything else. But I will tell you, I heard LeBron James speaking on there, and for a free app and the benefits of the Amex Platinum card, boy, it was great. And I get to listen about the mindset and how to really start my day and get things going. And it was a series. So absolutely, I will get back into that. What other apps do you like for meditation, health, wellness? Food tracker. What about a food tracker?
I was just going to say, and I don't get any kickback whatsoever, but I am highly in favor of the Noom app, N-O-M. And that is a lot. It's the basis is on behavior change and the psychology behind it initially.
Interesting.
And the way that it steps you into it just very gracefully. It's not overwhelming. It's an education where it becomes more of an apparent choice to you. And then your involvement through the meal planning, meal tracking, if this, then that. You can log in your exercise. It's I find it, I recommend it to all of my clients, and I've had some clients in the past 5 weeks have lost 12 pounds. Another has lost 5 pounds. So I don't do anything unless I try it first. I also have a scale that connects for like a full body composition. I find that the statistics and that data really interesting. Like I'll do one of my classes and my body weight will change by 2 pounds in a half hour. You know, like
what?
And it goes up. It's not going up. It's going up. So, you know, my goal through COVID was just to basically stay the same.
Maintain.
Yeah. I'm not going to be in any competition, and I don't need to lose anything. I know where I stay healthy and don't get sick, and how I can look proportional. So I just wanted to stay the same, but my body composition has changed. So it's really interesting to me. I've gone down in muscle mass because I'm not heavy lifting anymore at the gym, so my body fat has increased, but I weigh the same, but I look different. Right. So it's being able to utilize tools for, you know, when we do body composition, we do a body fat analysis, we do BMI, we do waist to hip ratio, and that gives us a full picture. We do all different measurements, and that's really where you get the results of the work. So
Eric is saying that his body weight just keeps going up. So we got to get Eric on this Noom app. I'll tell you, I don't think that Noom, no offense to them, but does a great job of telling what they actually do, because I didn't know that's what they did. I thought it was a food kind of delivery app.
No. They actually have, you get assigned a coach in there that isn't like high pressure. You can adjust it to be, once a week or maybe twice a week. You are able to join in to a group if you do better in a group type of support system. So you're connected with others that, it's all anonymous. Of course, it goes into, you're pulled into a group that has common profiling, such as yourself, or that they feel will complement you in that as well. So I think it's great. I mean, was
it free? I forget.
What's that?
Is it free?
The first 2 weeks are free, and then depending on your goal. So if you set it up for, I know my client that's lost 12 pounds so far, the goal was 2 months out. So I think it was 99 for 2 months.
Okay.
So break that down by week and by day, what you're really getting.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, the benefits are worth 999,000.
I recommend trying many things. I mean, that might not be really it helps with the portion control. And I think, especially in the United States, that is a big issue, especially with us sitting at home, the snacking throughout the day, the emotion that goes into it. When we do a food tracker to see like, what have you been eating the past 3 days?
Sure.
What you've been eating, how much of it, but how do you feel when you're eating it?
Sure.
Are you bored? A lot of times you're just thirsty. So try drinking a glass of water first.
Right. Yeah. So yesterday they just said now in California, we can go back to eating outdoors.
Yay.
I'm terribly excited about this. So I cannot wait. Great. So I'm terribly excited about this, but the reality is we're still going to have to cook at home, and it's going to be expensive to go out there and continue to eat and pay and tip and all that stuff. So can I still eat it? How do I phrase this? I know you can eat healthy at home. That's a given. Mm-hmm. Is it as easy to prepare healthy food as it is easy to prepare junk food at home? Same amount of effort?
If you just prepare and plan, I'm a big food preparation person. You make it easy for yourself so that you have something to go to that is satisfying. So in my fridge, I have boiled eggs. I have prepared proteins like chicken. I have a pot of rice. I have some oatmeal for the morning already. I have all my fruits and veggies are all washed from the store. Pre-COVID, I was still doing that, but
right.
Ready to go so that I can have cut up vegetables, hummus, yogurts, granolas. Everything is ready to go. I have a client that is going to on a trip, and the one that I was referencing before that recently lost the 5 pounds, and he has back-to-back meetings, and it's out of town. He has to fly. I suggested to him, go ahead and ship to where your destination is some food preparation containers and a cooler, and have Instacart delivered to you upon your arrival so that you are prepared and you can prep all of your stuff in pack it into the coolers and continue on with your day. People are going to want to celebrate with you with other foods that, that wouldn't be inside this plan that you have here at home. Sometimes when people want you to eat it so that they feel more comfortable in what they're eating, but food is something in a lot of cultures. I'm Greek. It's very prevalent in my culture.
Sure.
You eat when you're together, and if you don't, then you can be insulting someone. But just being able to go in there prepared and explain, and then be able to understand that it's okay to be in that uncomfortable space, and that once people can adjust to your new behavior, they will settle down into the new norm. But by no means should that be a detriment to your own planning. So he's going into that situation knowing that he'll be eating out or being in all these situations. So now he's covered for breakfast and for lunch for 4 days, and then he has dinner. Wow. At the place where he's going to be, so he can plan out his salads, his proteins, and all of that, and he's good.
Yeah, I never thought about ordering Instacart to where I'm going to, and it absolutely makes sense that I can have all the good, healthy foods just ready there waiting for me versus going out and eating every night, which I absolutely love. Yeah, but one thing that my wife and I, since I have been packing on a few pounds, I'm a stocky guy, I'll admit it, about 5'10", and I could. I tell you, I stopped drinking for 9.5 months one time. Mm-hmm. I lost weight like that. I dropped probably 17, 18 pounds. Wow. Boy, my shirts were fitting great. I was wearing mediums versus large. Right. Now I feel like I'm borderline extra large. And but I still can wear the large. I'm good. And I will tell you that the drinking and the sugars and all that stuff and the breads and the car, we all know this. Yeah. Are the meal prep companies out there, are they good for us? Are they bad for us? Is there one that we should just be like, hey, all they send is pasta, stay away from them,
Well, I think, I'm a big advocate for well-rounded meals. You need carbs, you need protein, you need fats. Yeah. So you need to eat a well-balanced meal and plan it out throughout your day so you're getting all the nutrients that you need. But you're within your caloric intake. So, we do a whole, it's all math. It comes down to math, like how much you're taking in right now. I can already tell you to sustain your body weight and right now, where you want to be. And we backtrack that. Sure. As far as like home delivery, I would be wary of the sauces, the things you put on top of things. So it's not necessarily the pasta, it's what you put on top of it. It's not even the salad, it's the dressing. So, on my salads, I whip up yogurt, non-fat yogurt, and some hummus, and then I put a bunch of spices, lemon in it, and then I just kind of make it fun and drizzle it across. So there are substitutions that you can make. I would suggest here locally in LA, there's an affiliate I have called Crop Swap. So that's direct from farmer to the home. That's not meal prep kits. That is fresh produce. I also have a friend that has Galardi here in Beverly Hills, and they do all Greek Mediterranean meal prep. So you order the week before, and all the dishes are created for you, and they're all. As I believe, I eat mostly like a Mediterranean diet, a lot of fish, chicken, lemon, vegetables, all that. So I like that. So those are two that I recommend: Crop Swap and Galardi here, and they're both on Instagram.
Yeah, I've never heard of Crop Swap, and I think that sounds like a very interesting concept, and I like that. That's affordable, fairly affordable.
Affordable. You take out, you pretty much are taking out the middleman. It's going direct from the farmer, so they get to realize the profit and sustain.
What about juicing? Because we just got a juicer.
Good for you.
I haven't taken it out of the box yet. So I had it for 2 weeks.
Real simple for you to do with your juicer. Straight out celery juice, that's it. So celery juice is going to help you with inflammation as well as boost your immune system. It has a lot of other benefits, but I'll just keep it simple. All you're going to do is just stick the celery into the juicer, and then you're going to drink it. If you want to add something to it, what I'm doing this week with mine is adding in some fresh parsley, a little cucumber, a quarter of a piece of apple, and some garlic. So just think of all these different things as you're opening up your medicine cabinet. And then all it is natural foods versus all the pills. So you're either going to pay for your wellness now, or you're going to pay the doctor later. So, so as far as juicing, we have a question about protein shakes. Protein needs to be, you can have too much protein. So, you do still need to work out. I prefer a whey shake. I have it with frozen banana and maybe add like a couple strawberries or whatever I have. I always stick whatever produce I have in my freezer before it goes bad. So I purposely buy additional bananas to, when they're ready, I peel them and put them in my freezer. So it makes it like almost like that nice cream.
Okay.
Almond butter.
Nice cream?
Nice cream.
Okay.
If you just blend, do me a favor and freeze 2 peeled bananas.
Okay. And
then tomorrow you're going to have it with a little bit of whatever type of milk you want. Just pour a little bit in to get the blades going.
Okay.
That's it. Pantea, you're asking about almond butter. It's a high fat for the protein content. Yes, you can have it in moderation. Look at your serving size on the outside of the container and make sure that you're including that with your sugars and salts for the day. Pantea is one of my friends here in Beverly Hills. I'm glad you joined. She's in our.
Is there a misconception about certain foods out there like almond butter? Like, oh, it's great for you, but if you put it on everything, it's bad for you. I mean, I know that everything is within, moderation.
There are a lot of different nut butters that are really fun to take a look at. You can even create yourself. I prefer the peanut without any salt, just all natural. Just be careful of what you read the containers. You'll be surprised. I mean, even when I go shopping for dog treats, there's sugar in my dog treats. Why does my dog need sugar? I was treating my dog after doing something. I don't need them to continue to be crazy after. So read even Paul Newman's dog treats has some type of brown sugar or cane sugar in the dog treats. So I'm really on a big kick with this, the stomach fat, all the sugar, and along with the drinking. I mean, I don't drink, but it all comes.
Oh, you should try it. It's the best.
Yeah. Well, I think the problem also is not even just the drinking. It's what you choose to eat while you're drinking. Right.
Interesting.
And then, so that's a huge thing. Like when people go out, when we go out, people get margaritas and then they're eating the chips and the guac. I mean, that's right. If you do that a couple times a week, figure out that a pound of fat is 3,500 calories, right? So if you're going to start eating, add that up after a week or two, when you're adding up that guac, adding up those chips, adding up that sugar in the margarita, then you're very easily going to gain that additional pound or two in a short period of time if you're not taking it away from other parts. But then you're robbing your body of nutrients, right? So you only need so many calories per day. Calorie means energy. You don't need as much energy in a sedentary lifestyle during COVID. So that's where we're seeing that rapid weight gain.
So, yeah, I mean, is there a kind of a rule of thumb about calories of how much I should be having a day in this COVID lifestyle?
So what you're eating and what's required are two different things.
Gotcha.
It depends on average, I would say 1,800 to 2,000. It depends. So I can tell you your weight times 15 is what you're intaking average right now.
My weight times 15. So let's say I'm, I don't know. Let's pick a number. Let's just say 200 pounds. I don't know. Let's round up.
Yeah. So, I mean, I could do like a whole little analysis for you, but basically you want to stay within certain diet.
3,500.
Don't just go in. We're having a question about intermittent fasting. I think it's great for some people. There's a difference between starving yourself and intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is a discipline and it is a process. And I do have a great contact for that intermittent fasting, a doctor that can supervise that for you and get you some really good insight. You should educate yourself about that and not just on Instagram. You should ask a professional about intermittent fasting because it is a process and it can work very well for people, but it needs to be supervised initially.
Well, I'm a little, I feel like these, and I'm going to just put them in air quotes, these fads and these trendy diets and stuff are actually could be dangerous to some people.
Yes.
And I don't think people realize. I had a friend of mine who wanted to lose weight, and he was like, "Oh, whatever you can fit in the palm of your hand is what you eat."
No.
And that's it. I was like, and he lost a tremendous amount of weight. And I go, how do you think that you can keep this up for a long period of time?
Right.
Because you're going to flip one day and you're going to be like, I'm just going to, eat this loaf of bread.
Right.
So, and he did. And he put back all the weight on, and he lost a tremendous amount of weight. He was exhausted all day long. All he could eat were the nuts that he could fit in the palm of his hand, which was like 6 almonds.
Right.
It's just be rational about it, right?
Well, yo-yoing is, you are better off staying at the higher weight than doing the yo-yo. And that says a lot from what we just said before about, the weight around the waist can have a massive effect on heart health.
Sure.
And so that's what you're putting on your heart to have that rapid weight loss. This needs to be a behavioral change. So there's many different studies that I talk about in many of my speaking engagements with corporate and with my clients on a personal training level. But it needs to be a behavioral change. It has to incorporate into a lifestyle. So that really has to get passed through a different behavioral change model into maintenance, which has to sustain past 6 months. So, that yo-yoing is really difficult. And I'm not a person to do fads. Like I talked about before, I'm much more about having well-rounded meals, portion control, making good choices, planning ahead. If you have an event, great. You're going to celebrate with everybody. You should. But know that before and after that you'll have to make some adjustments. You can't just, have it all the time without having some type of consequence about it later.
Sure. And for everybody out there, number one, the Q&A is open. We've gotten to some of your questions. That's great. Anna's website is merakifitnessbyanna.com. So please go there. And I'm telling you, it's a great looking website, very well designed. They've got a blog, they've got the videos, they've got the shop, they've got everything there. And you will be amazed at the amount of talent and high level businesses that she has worked with, been interviewed by Beverly Hills Chamber. I keep mentioning them just because it's in our backyard. So please go to Meraki Fitness by Anna and check her out, .com. Let's talk about sleep. I know a lot of people that can function off of 4 hours, 5 hours of sleep and be sharp as a tack the next day. I know some people that need 10 hours of sleep. Mm-hmm. I'm probably in that 6 hour window, 6 to 7 hour window. Anything over 8 hours, I'm done for the next day. It's way too much sleep. But 6 hours is my magic number. So is it just person by person, or is there kind of a rule of thumb here?
I think it goes by person. There are a lot of studies around it, and I don't think that there's a cookie cutter for every person by any means. The recommended would be between 6 to 8. Okay. I think as we get older, we need less. My concern with my clients is the quality of rest that they're getting. So that is one of the first questions we ask, and we also include in a lot of our presentations to corporate, where we talk about rest and building it into any program. And a lot of people, such as realtors, don't know what it means to rest. They feel like that's money lost. Time is money.
Sure.
What we need to understand is sometimes you need to slow down to speed up, right? That's one of my best mentors in my life taught me that. Sometimes you have to slow down to speed up. So slowing down and adding rest into your program is really important, and quality rest. One of the questions I ask off the bat, along with how much water do you drink, and what do you like to do? What would your 3 goals be if I could wave a magic wand? What would you want for 3 years? And then we get into why is that not happening, and how is your rest? And that's where we end up getting into some really good conversations, because if you're not resting, then there's other issues going on, and it can come down to simply detaching from screen time beforehand. But the quality of rest, and that doesn't include napping through the day. You need to have the solid rest for your body to actually repair, rejuvenate. I tell some of my female clients, you're rejuvenating your skin on your face while you sleep. You literally need your beauty sleep.
Okay. All right. It's interesting you talk about napping, because I know a guy that's out of New York, and boy, I want to say he's early 70s. He has a tremendous amount of energy, and he lives and breathes by taking a 10-minute nap every single day. And this guy can pump it till 2 a.m. and then he's up at 7 or 6 or whatever. And the guy, just a 10-minute nap, he puts his feet a little elevated, puts his head down on the couch, guy's ready to go. And I wish, I just don't have that in me to be able to sit down like the meditation and just close my eyes for 10 minutes. I just can't do it.
Well, I think that I've grown in this. I wasn't able to before when I was in wealth management take naps throughout the day, unfortunately. But now when I have a series of stacked classes or presentations, I do schedule myself first in that and pop in a quick recap of myself, if you will, to just close my eyes. And even if I'm okay with not sleeping 15 minutes, 20 minutes, it recharges my energy level. And as far as your friend putting their feet up in the air, I think they're bringing the oxygen and the blood back to their brain.
Okay.
Recharging that. I like to tell my clients by doing exercise too. And planning their caloric intake and energy throughout the day to maximize their she agrees.
Right.
Maximize their workout. They're actually not only recharging existing cells in their brain, but they're actually creating new ones. So they're making themselves smarter.
So you bought those Paul Newman sugar dog treats, it sounds like.
Well, yeah. Unfortunately, the landscaper decided to show up. So.
Oh, gotcha. So talk to me a little bit about these live Zoom classes. What do you charge for them? Can we pop in and pop out? Do we have to buy a package?
Well, the first class is always free. I think that we always want to see what it is that we're getting into. And then it's easy. It's either 7:30 in the morning Pacific time or 6 o'clock at night Pacific time, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And it's simple. It's just $60 a month. You can log into however many or whenever you want. So it's real flexible. I encourage as many as you're able to do. And they're staggered that way so that you can include other types of exercise in your week.
So wait a minute, I just did the math in my head. $5 a class?
Yeah, basically. There's really no excuse.
Yeah, I mean, if it's 3 times a week, that's 12 a month times $5.
Right.
That's 60. That's an incredible deal.
Yeah, it's a great deal. And we have a lot of connection, a lot of community. We have a support system together. We celebrated different life events throughout many of our members through COVID and family occurrences and all of that. And then we also have a group in Instagram for a direct message chat.
Interesting. All right. Well, let me put up your website here because I want to make sure people know about that. That is a hell of a deal.
Yeah.
It's $5 a class. Yeah. And it's at the comfort of your own home. Do I have to have any tools? Do I have to have any equipment or just show up?
Just a good attitude. I think like 80% of it is just getting there. I literally just congratulate everybody for coming because it's a big choice. There's a million other things that they can be doing, like staying under the covers in the morning or, getting into their family stuff at night. I know my friend Pantea that's on here now, she's recently joined our classes and she has 3 healthy boys at home and a husband. And she's asked that they give her that time to be able to dedicate to herself. And I applaud her and her family. It does take a whole group and an environment. So I'm big fans of the family for supporting Pantea and joining that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, all right. So burnout's real. When COVID started, I think we all thought this is going to be 45 days over, done with. And now we're into it damn near a year right now. Yeah. So, I think one of the things is, and you were kind of leading up to this, is boundaries. How do we establish boundaries and tell our wives, our husbands, our kids, our dogs, I need this time. I need to do this for my self-care.
Well, I think it's getting in front of it before it becomes an issue also, like having that time to be able to talk with them and explain to them, I'm feeling a little bit more stressed. I'm feeling a little bit more anxious. I feel like I need to connect with something a little bit better. And this is something that's been offered to me, and I'd like to at least try it. And so this is what it would look like for everybody in the house. Is everybody in agreement? So that way they're set up ahead of time with the expectation so everybody can have success.
Oh, sorry. I was just making sure I was chatting with the chatters there. So, yeah, I think you've got to invest in yourself. You've got to take time. You've got to bring value. You've got to recharge yourself like you've just spoken about. What about the long hours? What can I do to break up? Because I know that I used to drive 3.5 hours every day to and from work. Now with COVID, I'm not driving that, but I feel like I'm extending my work hours longer. What can I do to, as you call it, deskercise? What can I do to be healthy and take these little intermittent breaks every day to kind of recharge my mind, my body, make sure I'm sitting up straight, being ergonomic and all that stuff?
We do a whole presentation about this ergonomics and desk exercise, and we go through, the proper sitting at the desk with the 390s, I call it, the elbow, the hip, and the knee, making sure that those are at 90 degrees. We talk about, even eye exercises, looking across the room and focusing on something at a different distance than your computer with it, for 20 seconds, a few times throughout the hour. Getting up, standing is not replacing the sitting. They say sitting is the new smoking, right? So having a standing desk and changing your height and throughout the day is great. But walking around, bending over, touching your toes, doing some rotation, working through 5 different basic push, pull, rotate, lunge or step, and squat or sit type of exercises. Breathing is really great. Reducing any type of excess type of distraction around you. You should really have 3 things at your desk. You can rotate those out if you have many like grandchildren or children that you want to have it represented at your desk. But having that type of reduction, making sure your monitor is positioned right so you're not at a corner and straining your neck throughout the day. Those are all really helpful tips. But the desk exercise is fun. I have some things on my YouTube with desk exercise and a simple flow throughout the day, a couple times a day, getting out and having breaks and making sure that you're having the proper nutrition to stave off those dips or spikes in your blood sugar.
Well, guys, we're going to be wrapping up here very soon. So if you have any more questions, or Anna, if there's anything that you want to talk about or bring up, I think that we've got the whole spectrum of really, you just got to do it. And at $5 a class, why couldn't we do it? I know a guy who owns a very successful brokerage called Sync Brokerage. I'm going to talk to him and see about doing a class or 2 with the whole team there. Yeah. And I'm sure that you guys are because you have instructors as well, right? It's not just you.
We have many that can deliver strength training, yoga, Pilates, breath work, meditation. We have food demonstrations. We bring financial health, mind, body with our own executive leadership, but she focuses more on mindset and specifically stripping away those negotiables out and just maintaining the non-negotiables so that you're able to dive deeper in those with better clarity.
Yeah. Tell me real quick about the negotiables and the non-negotiables, because I know that's something that you and I have spoken about before. Yeah. And I like that. I like the non-negotiables.
Yeah. I usually just either have a handout in regular presentation time, okay. In your conference room when you have, pick up your packet at the beginning of remember those symposiums. And but now it's just on the screen. I encourage people to take a screenshot, just jot it down. We focus on financial, physical, mental, and financial health. And what is, starting with one thing, again, to have that behavioral change, we want to make sure that, it's doable, it's sustainable. So it's one at a time, and building from there, we identify one thing that's non-negotiable and one thing that's negotiable. So for physical mindset, I would say water. That is a non-negotiable for me. But to have that huge cup of cocoa at the end of the day is a negotiable, right? Gotcha. So that's very simplistic in that, but you can take it from however you want. And then I go through a lot of different things in that type of how to avoid burnout presentation, the wellness. And then we recap it going back to that particular slide. And that's where we kind of get into the work and have that as one of the takeaways from the presentation.
Well, I think that your style and what Think Like an Executive really starts off with is small and achievable goals. Yeah. And I love the fact that you're like, just make the non-negotiable water.
That's it.
Small and achievable goal. Like I mean, I drink probably 3 or 4 of these large bottles of water a day because I understand the importance of it. I mean, we have 8 to 10 5-gallon Arrowhead bottles delivered for just my wife and I. Now she drinks probably 70% of it, but we understand the importance of water and being healthy. So, Anna, thank you so much. I didn't really realize how much I was going to get out of this. I knew I was going to get some tidbits, but I feel like I'm already more energized.
Yeah.
And
do me a favor, and all the watchers, tonight before you have dinner, just drink a huge glass of water before you have dinner, before you sit down, before you have dinner, and just drink a big glass of water before you have dinner. And then let's find a time that we can all reconnect, or just shoot me an email, send me a text message, or contact me through my website to let me know how that changed your meal, as far as portion control, as far as any dessert afterwards. Like how did that make you feel? So I'd love to hear.
Is there a time I should stop eating at night? If the average bedtime is between 10 and 11, should I stop eating 5 hours before I go to bed, 6 hours, anything like that?
It really depends on what you're going to be doing the next day. Like, I mean, if you're going to go run a marathon, that's a different answer, right?
Just work. I'm going to go to work at 8 a.m. Yeah,
I mean, including your 8 hours of rest, it's really hard to either sleep on an extremely full stomach or exercise. You can't exercise and digest at the same time. So
sure.
I mean, for me personally, if I were to go to bed by 10 o'clock, I would be done eating by about 8:30. I usually end the night by having tea to be able to just wash everything down. It literally clears out the pipes, and it helps to digest. And so I usually have tea every night before I go to bed.
Okay. Well, again, if you guys have any more questions, we're about 30 seconds away from wrapping this up. Thank you so much for tuning in to Think Like an Executive. Anna, thank you. I've got your email down there, and we'll put up your website real quick for everybody.
It flew by. I can't believe it's been an hour.
Oh my God. I looked at the clock just a minute ago and it was 10:36 and I was like, oh, I probably should start wrapping it. It is an hour. That's awesome.
That's so cool.
That's awesome. Well, I'm so grateful for your time and thank you for everything. And everyone, make sure that you go to Meraki Fitness by Anna. Check out the website. I'm telling you, it's a great website. And if anybody else wants to join those classes for $60 a month, I'm in. I've already got Winston committed. I'm going to go talk to a couple people I know about maybe doing this for the company, the brand. We'll get Think Like an Executive as a partner on that. And hey, we'll just get healthy, man. Just get healthy.
Just do one thing.
Well, I love it. Small, achievable goals. The real estate coaching, I tell them, make one phone call a day. That's it. That's all you got to do. One phone call. Everybody can make one phone call. Just do one thing a day. Have that glass of water. Guys, these are nuggets here. Golden nuggets. So, and
that was going to be so hard.
Please stay in touch. I can't wait to reconnect and start working out and get on these Zoom classes and everything. I think it's going to be amazing. I'm going to learn a lot from you. We all are. Eric says, thank you so much. Great session. Winston, he's in.
Winston, Eric, okay, so tomorrow, 7:30 or 6 o'clock?
Well, that might be a little too soon for me.
Oh! Here's the thing for you. Today is your tomorrow from yesterday. So that, and then I love the one that says, someone busier than you has already worked out today.
Oh, yeah, sure.
That's it. Somebody busier than you has already worked out today.
All right. So Eric is telling me I need to be aware of burpees. I don't think I know exactly what a burpee is.
I'll modify it for him. He won't really realize what he's doing. I'll just give it to him and break it down. Like put your hands down and then put your legs out and we'll just break it down. So then before he knows it, I'll tell him afterwards. You just did a burpee.
Okay. Done. All right, Winston, you and I are going to talk about this. Eric, maybe you could just watch us work out.
And you know what? If you want to just hang out and watch, that's fine. Just make sure everybody brings water. There
you go. Winston, I'll hit you up later. Anybody else wants to join us at 7:30 a.m. tomorrow? Let's do it. The first class is free. You got nothing to lose.
7:30 or 6 o'clock at night. So you've got two options, but it's good to get it done.
Let's do 7:30, guys. Come on.
You'll forget about it by 9 o'clock. You'll forget it even happened.
Exactly. Make sure you guys go subscribe to the YouTube channel, the Team Galardi Company. We've got great videos there. Anna, where can we find you again?
Sure. I'm on YouTube also, Meraki Fitness, and also on Instagram, Meraki Fitness by Anna, Facebook, and LinkedIn.
It's Meraki, just so everybody knows.
It means passion in Greek, Meraki.
I love it. I love it. Anna, thank you again. I'll see you tomorrow morning, 7:30.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.